Daniel, brother, how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Yourself?
Good, thank you. So the rules are simple here. We're going to have a conversation about AFCON and Africa as a whole because it's a big time for us. But in the middle of that conversation, I'm going to ask you a couple of trivia questions about Africa and AFCON. And if you get them wrong, it's true or false questions. If you get them wrong, you have to jump into the fire here.
Can I start jumping in?
Oh, so you've got a tolerance for this. First and foremost, it's a big time for Africa. AFCON, slowly but surely, is gaining momentum and attention from around the world. What do you think this means for us as Africans?
Well, I think it means a lot for us because if you look at how the organization have been from the past times till now, there've been a lot of difference. There've been a lot of improvement.
Yeah.
There've been spectators, who come out in their numbers to be part of the tournament. There've been tourists who want to see how things is, and look at how Morocco took it extra mile again from how it was from the last time from Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Is just a huge difference. So I think Africa is the next thing when it comes to football.
Yeah. But we've been, it's interesting you should say that. We've contributed so much in Europe. We've exported, Africa has exported so many legends. You've got your Samuel Eto'os, you've got your Didier Droppers and many more, Benny McCarthy's. Do you think it's time that we started keeping some of that talent to develop our own football in Africa?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think it would have been good for us to keep those talents, in Africa. But again, if you look at it, not all the African countries have been able to come up to standard when it comes to football organization. To the league. You can talk of Bafana, you can talk of maybe 6 to 7 nations in Africa who have been able to, bring up their league to a certain level where you say, okay, we want to compete in Europe. So hence I would say allow these players to go overseas, go abroad to gain more experience. Maybe as time goes on, as the airface begins to develop even more stronger, then we can say, okay, we have 20 nations who are doing well, in football now, so we can keep back our talent.
Wow. Okay, speaking of, international talent, Nigeria is known to have a big pool of talent. Do you think this is what makes Nigeria such a dominant force right now? The variety of, players who play in Serie A, who play in, in Spain and, all these different leagues around the world. Do you think that's what's working for Nigeria right now?
The beautiful thing about Nigeria is that, the situation around, it's quite unfortunate. I don't want to go into politics, but then the situation around has pushed Nigeria to strive. And hence, every little opportunity a Nigerian had, they want to travel overseas, and it wants to get there. It wants to make sure that it strives. And this has given us the opportunities to establish ourselves in different nations. If you check around the world, in each team of the world, you must find one Nigeria who has played there before or, still there now. So these are some of the core strengths we drive for that makes us have this pool of players. And you can call 50 to 200, foreign players who is going to be starting 11 just for you to discover them. That's only the challenge that we have. But we have this pool of players there because of, the situations around the nation.
Wow. Okay, now we have to jump into the questions, the true or false questions. Because I'm keen to see you jump into the fire. So this is true or false. This is a question about AFCON 2023. True or false? 119 goals were scored in AFCON 2023.
True.
Well, spot on. I'm going to ask you one more question.
Okay.
You survived it. I'll throw one more question before we get back into the conversation. And this is specifically about Nigeria. True or false? Nollywood is Nigeria's second biggest employer after agriculture.
True.
Wow, man. I should have came up with harder questions.
Oh, but it's busy for this now.
Now, back to the topic of Nigeria. And I mean, the tabloids have made a feast out of this. We saw the incident with Lookman and Osimhen, happen on the pitch. Is that something normal amongst teammates? I mean, you've got your fair share experience in professional football. How does that impact the team going into the next stage of the tournament? Because they've got a big game coming up, quarterfinals, and when you see something like that happen, you would think it would ruffle up some feathers in the change room and maybe disturb chemistry in the team a bit. What do you think happens in those kind of situations, and how does that impact the team going forward into the tournament?
Firstly, I think I'll first of all say the positive part of it, because I saw Igalo posted something, though I haven't spoke with him, but then I saw it on his WhatsApp story, trying to enlighten people, probably to say that no, they've settled their differences, so people that doesn't know what really transpired between both of them shouldn't be saying things that they didn't hear and all of that, because it seems like people are just assuming things and go on social media and start saying things, Second of all, in every team, you have that one player or more than one player who, I wouldn't say is passionate only, is always emotional, you take things beyond measure. And if you're not careful, it's always going to be a clash between you and that player, the player between the team and all of that, So it is left to the management of that team to be able to handle such situation, or to be able to call the player to order. Yes, Osimhen is passionate about the team. He's also emotional. Whatever that transpires, I don't want to assume if it's because of passing the ball to him that transpired to that or whatever. I don't want to assume what happened. But I've been going through the games, I've been here doing analysis, and I can see there's even a particular time that I ask a question, when we're sitting in the office and say, is it really right for Osimhen to, pass a certain ball that they pass to Lookman to say, because he has a better chance for him to finish. And I had to strike on my head to say, okay, maybe he just wanted to, pass the ball to him so that it won't be like he is selfish and all of that. So that coordination can be there. But I don't want to assume if that is what happened, because I know there was a particular pass that was supposed to be passed to him that he assumed to be passed to him, and it didn't come. Then it went ahead and blew off. So I don't want to assume that is what happened. But, like I said, you always have one player in the team or two players in the team that does this kind of thing, but it's left for the other people to coordinate themselves and know that we are here for a purpose and we need to achieve that purpose.
Wow. And now, again, you're going into a very crucial stage of the tournament now, facing Algeria. And there's an incident that happened with Algeria and Congo, with Amora's celebration. Sparked a lot of controversy, and some people think, it's just football banter, he was in the moment. And some other people took it very personal. And with that being said, Congo's hopes of revenge are now in Nigeria's hands. But just to tap into your thoughts there, do you think it was just banter? Do you think Amora crossed the line with that celebration? What do you make of that?
Well, I think let me sit in the part of excuse for Amoros, because later saw something later today in the internet that he apologized. But I want to assume that he was not aware what that, all that stuff was all about in the first place. That's why we say that sometimes you need to actually study history for you to know, 100%. Things before you start reacting to it. So obviously, he might not know what that is all about. The guy standing there, the fan standing there, putting the status of what's it called again? The legend
Lumumba, Patrice Lumumba.
Patrice Lumumba, So he's not aware of it and all of that. So I think later when he got aware of it, because on my own I was thinking, no, this guy needs to go back and apologize. Because we're talking about heroes here. So maybe he's not aware of it. Ordinarily, a soccer player will not mock an hero like that. So maybe he's not aware of it. Then suddenly, boom, I saw it on the internet saying, he has apologized. But I still see Nigerians saying, no, for that we're going to punish him and whatnot. But that's not the case, because you don't want to play a team out of revenge. No, true. You have to play a team because you want to win.
You have to play the occasion,
So you don't want to play a team out of revenge. But I don't think the players will think, oh no, we have to punish him for that and all of that, because if that is the case, he has apologized. But I see here Nigerians say, no, some Nigerians, which is the fans, obviously players is not going to say anything. I don't think the players want to play because they want to revenge. They want to play because they want to win.
Of course.
Because we need to get to semi-final, which is most important.
Back to the questions, true or false. We're trying to get you to the fire again.
Can we just get this thing off now? No.
Okay, top goal scorer for AFCON 2023 was William Trusty-Kong.
No.
We should have found other questions. Okay, and true or false again, over 25% of the world's languages are spoken only in Africa.
Got them. Right where we want them. Now.
True.
Oh, man. Okay, you got your trivia on lock. You know, I want to ask you something very personal because I watched you play quite a lot. I followed a lot of South African local football. Right? You have experience in playing in teams that are very well established in South Africa and teams that are making a name for themselves. How big do you think is the gap between the two? Because every time we talk about big clubs in South Africa, it's always the same names that come up. And we haven't seen, in easily the past 10 years to 20 years, a team that has stepped up and said, you know what, we're here to compete and we're here to stay, other than like your SuperSport United, who had a really good spell, but that team doesn't exist anymore. How big do you think is the gap between the two kinds of clubs in South Africa?
Thank you very much for that. I think this has been a debate between me and some of my colleagues, and because I said to them, there is a huge gap, difference between these two teams. Only when you get in there, then you can understand. Because watching on TV, you think, oh no, it looks like things is a bit equal. No, there's a huge gap. Because when I play for Chiefs, I can tell that, look, everything is properly organized. You know, they've made a name for themselves and they try to keep the standard there. You know, they don't want to drop the bar and all of that. They keep competing to see that they are best in Africa and all of that, and to, you know, make you enjoy football environment. You know, I don't want to mention names now, but then I played for other teams that you say, wow, is this football I'm playing here or what? You know, is this that we just need to play to earn salary and just feed? That's all about it. You know, so there's a huge gap, and I think it's high time that SAFA and the PSL need to look into this and start seeing where they can be able to bring other teams, you know, if not close, but at least to a certain level of 60% or so, to say, okay, look, so that because of the players, so that the players will not, at the end of the day, you realize that you play football, but you don't benefit anything from it financially or whatnot, because you don't want to know what these other teams go through. I can say this now on camera. I remember one day, Bobby Moten said to, generally, I think he said that generally, that, no, I appreciate where you are now, because what you see that looks beautiful out there, when you get there, you'll be surprised that you're changing under the tree. Wow. You know, and one day I was there and they're like, no, the changing room is locked, we have to change under the tree. I'm like, God, damn, I have to change under the tree.
Wow.
Then it clicked to me when Bobby said that, no, because they have seen things themselves, you know. And so, honestly, the gap is huge. I hope they just try to close it a little bit.
Without saying Nigeria, who do you think has the best chance of winning AFCON 2025?
My money is on two people, two teams rather, sorry. My money is on Ivory Coast and Algeria.
Okay.
In as much as Nigeria is my country. If we do the right thing, I believe we can survive. But Algeria has put, you know, the string to not to resist any game. You know, they've come all out, you know. So, but then I put my money on Ivory Coast. Let me take the bet.
Wow. Ivory Coast, you heard it here first. But thank you so much. Even though you survived the fight, you can take one, just take one. Thank you very much for having this chat with us. Good luck to Nigeria. We hope you avenge Congo, because you know our guy there is Congolese and he's hoping. But thank you so much for having the chat.
It is my pleasure to be here.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Enjoy your day, brother.